Hey everyone, it's Mike, Kinesis Konnection. I want to introduce our new trainer, Casey. Today we're going to be going over posture and some corrective exercise. I want to use her, force her to work with me, to go over what I would do with a new client coming in here and sort of show you what I look at and how I do my thing. This is sort of a quick abridged version of it. But we'll first start off with is a squat assessment. This just gives me an idea of what's going on in the body. And what I do is I want people moving however is natural to them. So I don't give them too much information. Same with you, let you move how you want to move. So put your hands in the air and just squat.
Okay.
And have her do about maybe 5 or 6 reps. Now I'm just looking about how she's moving. I want to see what's happening. Now what you'll see a lot of times doing this is sometimes people will try to do it straight. Maybe you always perfect, maybe you do like 15 or 20 jump squats. And after you start getting tired, things go back to real quick. Now she looks pretty good. You don't see a whole lot. But you do from the backside. Her hips are actually rotating upwards when she squats down. Okay, so her right hip comes up a little bit. You can stop unless you want to keep on doing the squats. Okay. So posture-wise, that tells me there's something going on here now. Okay, that's going to affect a lot of her other exercises she may want to do, from everything from running, squats, absolute strength, stability. There's something in there that needs to be addressed. Okay, so that's worth looking at. Otherwise, she looked pretty good. When she was going down to her squat, her upper arms and legs stayed parallel lines, so her core was engaging. So that's awesome. So what we're going to do next is the first thing I do here is I have her put her heels up on a block, and you do the same squatting motion you just did. And again, I'm not going to tell you why. Let's do it so you see what I see. Okay. Does it feel any easier, or does it feel harder, or all the same?
It feels easier.
Feels easier?
Yeah.
Okay. You can stop that. All this did was take the ankles out of the equation. Okay, so if the problem she had is sourced to the ankle, it tells me that I need to work from there out, and the problem will go away. If the problem is still there, which I saw the hip still tacking, so that tells me the problem is sourced more to the hip. It just gives us some direction of where we want to go when doing corrective exercise. When it comes to doing stretches, anything by doing your own life, you have to work on the target. I think a common problem like this would be sort of similar. People working their shoulders, they'll feel the pain back here, and they'll always be stretching their trap, doing this and doing that. Oftentimes the source is right here. And so you'll get temporary relief, but nothing will ever permanently get fixed. And you have to target the source. All this stuff does is lets us figure out where the source is. We do have other things we can do to find out what the source tissue might be. We have range of motion measurements, strength tests, etc. And we'll sort of figure out what's going on. Another key thing to do with this, we want to make sure it's movement related. Okay? Sometimes it can be structural. It can be a number of other things. We can work with movement related problems. Okay? If she did this and I cannot make the problem go away or isolate it, and it keeps on happening, that tells me that the problem is probably not movement related. And if it's not movement related, talk to a doctor, talk to a physical therapist, definitely keep on going on. We can't do everything. I think that's an important thing to remember too, is that, where we do our practice at. So anyhow, moving ahead. Hey, so the first thing we know we have is she have a hip issue going on here. So we'll probably work her IT band. Her hip flexors are probably going to be tight. Again, this is a very general rule, but for most people this does apply. Probably 80% of the population is going to have tight hips. The reason of the problem is very interesting of what caused it, but ultimately it probably doesn't matter. I say that only because our lifestyles are what they are. If you have to go to work and sit in a chair all day long, you're probably not going to change that. Even though you may like to retire an island and always stand up and never have problems sitting down again, you still have to. So rather than really spending too much time figuring out what's causing the problem, let's find a solution and compensate for it and get you right. And just moving on. So what I have you do is go and lay on your back, please. What I'm going to do is you can also do it with a foam roller, and this is a self-myofascial release with a foam roller. It's real popular right now. You use the wand, foam roller, they have a bunch of little gizmos, tennis balls, whatever you can push onto the muscle. I like to do it with my thumbs. I can sort of feel the tissue there a little easier, find out where the knots are, and just make my client scream. So. Now, this would also be something that massage therapy or something would be in the same ballpark on. And it does complement corrective exercise very well. Yeah. Now, as far as pain's concerned, where are you at?
Like an 8.
Okay. Now, it's hard to tell, but when I'm doing this, I have my hand here on her kneecap and her foot up here. When I press, I can feel movement happening in her arch of her foot. It is literally bouncing all around. And as the key thing, remember, with movements and posture, everything is connected. Your body is one body, not 680 different body parts independent of each other. Everything is connected. So when I go here and apply pressure, it bounces all the way around and I can feel it going on here. Now, we're doing a short version today, but I will continue working her leg and various muscle spots here and getting this tissue to relax. Okay. Definitely there. Okay. Once we get that, we've inhibited the muscle, so we've stopped the sort of the source from getting any worse. That's step one. Now we want to work on sort of lengthening everything back to normal and trying to get the posture back where it needs to be. So we're going to sort of subtract from the tight muscles. That makes sense. So I'm going to have her do is go ahead and roll onto your side. I'm going to have you roll to this side though. Okay. Now, if we're being totally correct, I would have her doing the other leg, but then she'll be facing the opposite way and it doesn't work. So with this one here, we're just going to pull her knee back here. Get a stretch in there?
A little bit.
A little bit? You have good flexibility. We'll also do your stretching here. Move on. We'll go through about 5 or 6 different stretches on everyone. The key thing with the stretches, and we'll go over everything individually, is go into a general stretch, keep your body in right alignment. Don't bend yourself into a pretzel to find a stretch. If you can't find a tight muscle, maybe it isn't there. And don't go searching too hard for tightness. Sometimes it may be deeper in. Number of problems with it could be, so you just want to spend the time doing it right. After the stretching, which is going to lengthen everything back out to normal, so we hopefully got posture almost right, we're going to work on isolating weak tissues. I want to touch first on what posture is. Posture is basically a product of neuromuscular coordination and length-tension relationships in the muscle, okay? Coordination is how it sounds like. Muscles talking to other muscles and moving correctly. Okay? Length tension is sort of what it sounds like, tight muscles and weak muscles. If both those are working together correctly, your body's gonna be in right alignment and everything's gonna be working right, you'll move right, you'll bounce right, you'll burn more energy, everything works, excuse me. What we've done here with these first 2 things, the foam rolling, the pressure points massage, and the stretching, is subtract from the tight muscles. That is only half the equation, and this is something I see probably missed very frequently, is they'll get this part done and get this part done well. And you will feel a little bit better after this. You'll feel a little more in line, everything's straight, and you go out and do your thing. The other side of it is now the weak tissue, okay? If you have weak tissue and you've done nothing to address that weak tissue, it tells its opposite muscles that they need to tighten back up. Everything goes back the way it was within a day or 2. And you're sore again, you're hurting again. It's just that cycle of keep on going on. And I would argue that it actually makes it worse by putting it back to neutral and not activating the weak stuff, letting it go back to being tight, neutral, back to tight. That's an exercise. That's gonna make the tighter muscles even tighter, and over time, injury potential is even greater. So it is very important to do what we're gonna do next. After you do the inhibiting and the lengthening, is start isolating and activating the weak tissues. Okay? In the case of her, if her hips are tight, more than likely her glute muscles are going to be a little bit underactive, okay? As well as the inside part of her hamstrings. So we want to isolate those 2 muscles. Isolating and activating are not complicated things. In many ways, they can be boring. And I think that is sometimes the hard part. If you want to have a workout be extraordinarily strenuous, you need to make sure you can do it before you can be strenuous, and this is going to allow you to do it. So for activation here, we've all seen the leg lift exercise before, it's pretty common. What you may want to do is go and straighten this bottom leg out a little bit more, is to try to target the glutes a little bit more. If you know the hip's tight, and even though we stretch it and everything, it's still going to want to fire faster and harder. So she's going to have a tendency to want to use the hips anytime she does any kind of abduction with her leg. So I'm going to have her lean forward a little bit, and this will sort of shift some of the mechanical advantage to the rear glute muscles. You can do this yourself. So this rock forward to the ground, make this angle less than 90. Okay. And with her heel, I'm also going to make a little tweak here, and always make sure you lead with the heel. A lot of times people are going to want to go with a toe up. Okay. If your toe is up, that hamstring muscle I mentioned earlier is the one doing that work, and he's a bad muscle. And work the inside hamstring. So toe straight, or even heel up is a little trick you can do. So lean forward, put the heel up, and then you're just going to lift that leg up and down. Okay. You should feel this pretty cleanly in your back glute muscle. If you're not, play around with the movement some more. Lean more forward, play with the position of the heel, whatever, but feel the activation in the glute. Okay? You should only have to do 10 or 20 of these. All we're doing is activating the glute muscle. Okay? Hips were tight, they were overactive, we relaxed them. Now we're going to try to activate the back muscle, restore balance. These are a positive 5 value in tightness. This was a negative 5. We subtracted, now we're adding, making everything 0 again. Okay? Do you feel this in your glute muscle, or is it a little round?
Yeah, I feel it.
Okay. I'm going to roll over to your stomach if you don't mind, please.
Okay.
Next thing is we're going to work is our inside hamstring. This is, again, another very common one you'll see in a lot of gyms, that leg curl machine you do. A lot of times people's toes are pointed out. And if your toes are pointed out, you're not working the muscle you need to be working. Okay? So we're going to have to do the same thing with either 1 or 2 legs, and just do a leg curl, curl up and down. That's the movement. Okay, you got a feel for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to provide resistance to her now. Leg curl up. Good. Now push down. Casey here has fantastic strength in her leg. Okay. For most people, I think you'll find too when you're doing this yourself, is you'll be strong to about this point here, be really weak here, and really weak down there. And that's going to be because that inside muscle here is very underactive. So you want to start working on that. You don't need weight for this. Just lay down, do the motion here. If we're working with one of us, we'll probably apply some manual pressure to you. Okay. And activate the inside muscle. Then we stand up and we do integration exercise. Integration is how it sounds. Once we've isolated everything, activated it, we're going to put it all together in one functional move. Okay? Can she move the way she needs to now? Now, we've only done the sort of a short version of this. I do not expect her to have a complete perfect squat right now, but theoretically and hopefully, after doing this a couple times, when she went to that squat, those hips would no longer tilt. And if they are, we want to keep on going back and finding out, okay, what is the source muscle? What's causing it? If it's the hips, and we address the hips, and the problem isn't solved, then it's somewhere else, and we keep on bouncing around finding that. Now, hopefully, if you have a trained eye, you can find that source within a few minutes. If not, just keep on looking by stretching, finding tight muscles and slowly, easily stretching